Are you sick of spending hours upon hours swiping left or right on a bunch of photos of people that you'll never even bother to arrange a date with? Sometimes it does feel like a way to hold off the boredom and you're just doing it because you can. But what if you do actually go on a date with one of those people that you've chosen from this selection of humans that you don't really know anything about? What if they're the love of your life? But what if they're not? Hi, I'm Pia, I'm 25, and I'm having a quarter life crisis. Join me and my friends as we discuss our existential dread to try to solve our quarter aged questions. This episode, why do I get the ick from dating apps? More and more people are meeting their partners on dating apps with varying levels of success. With it being so easy to meet people that you know are definitely interested, what is the point of shooting your shot in person when there is a market of humans available at any time in your pocket? The whole concept of matching with people on a small profile and a selection of curated photos of them makes me feel uncomfortable. I would definitely prefer to get to know someone in person, but when it's so easy, why would I bother going through potential rejection from someone I know? I once went on a Hinge date with someone who I swear thought he was Jay from The Inbetweeners. He kept saying on the date how he wanted to go to Pizza Express Woking and be Prince Andrew or something. And this was only the start of the endless barrage of so-called jokes. So I, of course, completely thrashed him at bowling, had my pizza, which he paid for, and never spoke to him again. But this boy had the audacity to be so grim and confident. This boy who I would never have even gone near if I'd met him in real life. Now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome this episode's special guest. Fresh out of a long-term relationship, she has dived headfirst into the chaotic modern dating scene. Armed with one whole dating app, she has met multiple supposedly perfect matches and even ended up going to Rome to meet someone. It is my fabulous, freshly single, and hopefully to be romantic friend, Anna.
Yay!
Welcome to the podcast, Anna.
Thank you so much.
So, what sort of dating apps do you use?
What dating apps do I use? I actually have only ever used Hinge. Saying that, back in the day when I was single, when I was about 18, I used Tinder, but since then, absolutely not. And I just stick to Hinge, I hate dating apps. I think they're terrible.
And yet you're still using it?
And yeah, here I am, single and still using it.
When it came to sort of choosing the app that you use at the moment, why did you choose Hinge over Tinder?
Do you know what? Tinder comes across very, people are only on it for one thing, and we all know what that one thing is. We all know what that one thing is. Whereas Hinge, it feels a bit more serious. It feels like people want to meet up, go on dates, and you can tell when someone is serious about dating and wanting to get to know you properly. So, I feel like you can gauge that a bit better on Hinge. Especially, you get to see their personalities a bit more with your profiles and everything. So, yeah, that's why I've opted for Hinge.
And how do you find it though? Do you think you're finding your next potential? Do you even want a next potential partner?
I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate the fact. So we'll get onto this story later in the podcast. But I went away for a weekend and deleted Hinge because I didn't want that person to see that I was still on a dating app. So I deleted it, came back, re-downloaded it, and I had about 250 likes. Like a lot of men.
Oh,
I
look at you
know.
go.
A lot of men had liked my profile. And I thought, oh, this is good. Like let's have a little click through. I didn't match with one of those men because my standards have just skyrocketed. I'm just like, I think that when you've got all that attention, you just not interested. When you're looking for a profile, sometimes you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, as long as they look good in like a couple of photos, then there's a good chance they're going to look all right in real life.
I'm the worst. I literally
I'm
give everyone the
terrible.
benefit of the doubt, and then my
Oh,
algorithm just
really?
goes.
Well, it's made me a lot worse. Like, I do think like I've become way more picky by the with the people I'm matching with, and then I'm like, wait, are they in my league? Like the people that I actually have like matched with, or not even matched with, like liked. God, are they looking at me and thinking you're not in my league? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
No.
But like you think things like that, and it's silly, and it makes you overthink.
They are so weird because I remember, like, sort of like at uni, because I don't really use it much at the moment. But when I was at uni, I'd like, if I ever saw someone I knew, I'd always match with them and then pretend I didn't know them and be like, oh my God, no way, you live in the flat next to me. That's so funny. Ha ha ha. And then that would be the conversation. But, like, at the same time, that 5 minutes of entertainment was better than any other interaction I've ever had on the app, so
Do you know what that a similar thing happened to me at uni. So this is when back in the day when I was on Tinder, and a guy literally approached me in a club and was like, "I know you from Tinder," and I was like, "This is too much. Like, I'd rather not." So I was like, "Oh no, that's nice. Goodbye.
is this what it's like being famous?
Do you want my autograph?"
With dating apps versus real life, why do you think you keep on coming back to dating apps? And do you think you prefer to meet someone in real life, or are you happy with dating apps, even though you hate them?
I love the idea of meeting someone in real life. I think that's the dating app is just a time filler for the time being. Do you know what I mean? Like, realistically, am I going to meet the love of my life online? I don't know. But people do. You know, my
They do.
one of my best mates that I saw yesterday, she's just had a baby and she met her partner on Hinge. They're like, it happens. You know, people do meet the love of their lives on there, and like maybe I will one day. But so I just feel like it's so shallow. The whole concept of it is shallow, but it's just the way of life these days, isn't it?
It is. It's so funny as well because I was talking to my cousin's husband about this, and they met. I can't remember what it was called actually, but like, like Match.com, that vibe,
Oh
but it wasn't
yeah,
Match.com.
yeah, yeah.
But it was so different back then. Before it just being like on your phone, I'm just gonna pick it up. It's almost like a game now. Whereas before it felt a bit more serious, and now anyone can get on this app, which you're sort of like, oh, this is a bit of fun, and it doesn't necessarily feel like you're invested in it. So some people that are invested in it feel quite demotivated.
Yeah, for sure. That's another thing with it. Like it is a bit of a risk going on Hinge dates because you don't know who you're actually meeting up with. But yeah, you see photos of them. This is another thing as well. When I do meet people online, I'm all for doing voice notes, FaceTiming them, calling them. Like, I don't like the whole texting, like, hey, how are you? What you up to? I can't stand it. So, like, as soon as I match with someone and I'm getting along with them, it's very quick to, like, hop on a phone call or, like, do a FaceTime and
I think it's smart though as well because then you're sort of verifying that it's an actual person. Like obviously that's how you like to communicate, but it is still quite smart. Little tip there for everyone. With regards to like meeting someone in real life, how do you think you'd go about that now? Because I feel like before you could just go up to someone and just ask them on a date and you'd either be like, ew no, or yeah, sure, why not?
it's only recently I've broken up with my long-term ex. We were together 3 years, and then prior to that, I was with someone for 2 years. So it's like I've not been dating for about 5, well, actually ever. Like I met both of them in person. I didn't really like do the whole dating scene, you know. I It's like the first time that I've like actually been looking and like, going into a bar or a club and actually like you're single, so you're like having a look around and it's hard. Like my friend is single and we went out to Clapham the other day and she was so good at what she was doing. Like she could approach these guys, she was having like good old chit chat with them and like she was so confident. And I was like, Christ, I need to take some tips off you. But it just wasn't it's not in my nature to just like go up to someone and be like that confrontational and like confront them and be like, I fancy you. You know? It's hard. So at least I guess with dating apps, it's a bit more low key. Like you just swipe right, give them a like.
But it is like an interesting one, isn't it, with like a dating app though, because obviously when you're like coming up to someone in real life, you could also be chatting to get to know them as a friend. When it's a dating app, it's so like we are here to be together. That is the only way. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, people do make friends through it, but like, you like don't have that settling in time. You text a bit, and then suddenly
Yeah,
it's like, this is a date. Where's this going
exactly. And
now?
there's pressure in it. Like, I mean, the people that I've actually been with and like in a relationship with, a lot of it has started as like a friendship with them beforehand. So yeah, when you're going on dates, you're there to date that person, like to see if you've got a connection. Like it's weird because when you meet someone in person, you get to know them a bit first. I mean, I met my ex at work. So like we were working together, we'd known each other for like quite a while before things progressed. So you got to know them a bit more. Whereas like, yeah, dating, there feels like there's a pressure on it.
Have you got any dating app failure goes wrong stories?
I mean, not really in my experience. I've had dates where I've like turned around afterwards and said like the stereotypical, "Oh, sorry, I'm not ready for this right now," and da, da, da. But that's just like a nice way of rejecting someone. I'll tell you what, my sister, because my sister's dating and is doing the whole hinge scene as well. She went on a date the other day, and it was her second date, and was having a nice little wander around. They'd gone for a drink, had a little wander around Alexandra Palace, and like the park areas around there, and they were about, what, 3 hours into their date. They sat down. It was a lovely little day. And then he, bearing in mind they've been together for 3 hours, he whips out a hot dog out of his bag and starts eating this hot dog. And the thing is, they was at this point, they were sat down. He had his like arm over her, was like leaning against her. And then, like 5 minutes afterwards, he went in for a kiss. And she was like, absolutely not. That is not happening. And then, yeah, she did the whole, "Oh, sorry, I'm not ready for something right now," and rejected him as well. Actually, another thing. Why do men, this is one thing that I notice a lot on Hinge. So I purposely look out for height. Height is quite an important thing to me. I quite like the idea of having someone who's taller, who's ideally above 6 foot, right? I'm one of those stereotypical girls. So when I'm flicking, when I'm scrolling, I'm looking out for that. Unless they're super, super, super hot and I really fancy them and they're just a bit below 6 foot, I don't usually go for them. But anyway, I'd met up with this guy who'd said he was 6'2". Met up with him. He was short. He was a short king. And I was like, "You lied.
No.
You're
Why
a liar. Why
lie?
lie about it? It's not worth it." But then I guess if he didn't lie, I wouldn't have matched with him.
Yeah, but if you're short, don't say you're 6'2", say you're 5'11". Like, make it believable that you measured it wrong and not like an utter
Exactly.
lie.
And sometimes if they're 5'11", I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, they're 5'11". Like that's an inch smaller than 6 foot. I'm not that picky, but
This is a tip for the guys, everyone. Put 5'11", and no one's gonna be mad you saying 6 foot. That is so funny. I was just thinking, I went 1 week, I just went on 4 Hinge dates and then honestly never again. And there was such a varying level of success, but I just remember this one day. And I don't even remember his name or anything. But like we literally didn't know where we were gonna eat, went to this little Italian, ate dinner, had the most basic conversations, just said goodbye, never spoke again. But we just had this dinner and went, right, bye.
goodbye now.
And just left.
Yeah, but I think that's healthy in the sense that like if you don't feel like you're getting along that well, to turn around to each other and be like, well, maybe not just like leaving them, but like if you come to a mutual decision that like this isn't right, then fair enough. That's the whole point of dating and getting to know people.
On the flip side of the failure, there's obviously always light in the darkness. Have you got any success stories?
Success stories. Well, I did in fact go to Rome last weekend. So I matched with Zed Guy, who is part of the army. So he grew up in the UK, he's based in Cyprus. And somehow we matched. Don't know how that happened. We hit it off straight away. Like we were FaceTiming multiple times a day, we were voice noting loads, like really getting to know each other. And then we really wanted to plan to meet up, and we thought, oh, what a better time than to do it on a bank holiday weekend and head on holiday together. So we ended up in Rome, went for a lovely little city break, which was completely wild because I'm here banging on about how you should be careful about meeting people for a first date, and I'm flying to another country.
I would like to say to the audience, I did strongly advise against it. I said no. I was like, I'm never seeing you again.
And you know what? So many of my friends were like that, but it's something that I just really wanted to do, and I really do like him. I just thought, why not? I'm single, I'm free, I can go and do these things on my own, and I did, and it was fun, and we had such a good weekend. But you know, that doesn't come without the nerves. You still get the pre-date nerves, the pre-weekend nerves. And you overthink things and you like worry about things, but everything was fine and we had a great weekend, and we're now looking to plan another time to meet. But that's a bit of a success story. We had a lovely weekend.
I went on 4 dates with one guy once and then he ghosted me.
We hate Hinge. You know what? We're not going to get sponsored by Hinge on this podcast.
You might.
I won't. I've been here the whole time, slating it.
Watch me get non-stop adverts after this and I'll be like influenced into
Yeah.
downloading Hinge.
Wait, you don't have it?
No.
So what dating apps do you have?
None.
No. Oh my god. Mia, tell me why you've deleted every single dating app. Because they give me the ick.
I don't know. I deleted Hinge after the guy. Well, he didn't ghost me. He went to Ireland. Well, this is what he said happened. He went to Ireland, lost his phone, and then he was like, "Oh, well, I'm moving away. So I'm not going to be able to continue this relationship. Nice knowing you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I deleted the
Oh,
app, and then
then never re-downloaded it.
no, not really. Well, then I got into a relationship, but then I got out of the relationship, and I've just
Mm.
not got around to thinking about it
Well,
again.
do you know what? It's so like dating takes up a lot of your time, and if you really wanting to find someone, just being with someone it takes up your time. So if you're career driven, want to focus on yourself a bit, like sometimes not really that worth it, you know.
And busy women and
I'm
all that,
busy woman.
as Sabi C says all the time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly though. Like, you know, sometimes you do would rather go out with your friends than meet a random stranger at a bar.
Yeah.
So,
No.
no.
And I don't know what I actually this is the other thing is, like, I don't know what I want in a relationship, so what's the point in
Yeah.
downloading an app to get a relationship when I don't even know what I want?
Yeah, exactly. You need to like figure it out for yourself before like you well, you know what? My mum always says this as well. She's like, you need to invest a bit of time into yourself before you can put your energy into someone else. Like if you can't give yourself all, like everything, then you're not gonna be able to give that love to anyone else.
No, I agree though. So many people are just so ready to sort of use dating apps and like just think like I want this, but they're not ready to like I think this is just like a little comment on society as a whole. But like people are just they want things that's very sort of temporary and immediate society that we're currently living in. And people want things now and they don't think about how they can get it. So they just want immediate
Yeah,
results.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And do you know what? We're at such a weird age. Like your 20s is such a weird age because, you know, like I said, I've got a friend who's just had a baby. I've had friends who are engaged, who have bought mortgages, who have like looking to plan their weddings. Like they're all at so many different stages in life. However, I have also got a lot of friends that are very career driven, are like recently single, like me, want to go traveling like us. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's everyone's in such like different stages, but then you do compare yourselves to the ones that are settling down and are in like happy relationships, and you think, oh, maybe I would want that, and then you put that pressure on like the dating apps and think. Oh, scrolling through, oh, where can I find my man? It does become quite addictive as well. It can like you can sit there and like spend hours on it, and then you think, why am I doing this?
It's like what you were saying, 'cause, like, I guess this is kinda like the whole point of the podcast, isn't it? It's like you're sort of mid-20s, you're not a teenager anymore, but, like, it feels like you should be grown up and you're not, and then, all your mates say they're getting engaged, they're buying houses and things. But, like, as 25 also, I think it's because my parents didn't meet until they were, like, 30s as well, so for me, I've never really sort of thought as 20s as, like, settling down, but then at the same time, everyone around me is, and then
Yeah.
being very made aware to me as a sort of, like, fertility clock, so if I do
I
wanna
know,
have
yeah,
children,
exactly.
I sort of need to get on with it, but I'm also like, "But am I ready to have children?"
Yeah, I feel the same.
What did you think when you were younger at 25, you be in, like, your relationship status?
To be honest, I've never really thought about it. Now I'm here. I mean, when I was younger, I was always like, oh, I'm never gonna have a boyfriend, never gonna have a boyfriend. And now I've had the boyfriends. It's not all that, you know?
That's because 'cause they're not the
That's because
one.
they're not the one. But the last 5 months of my life has been one of the most fun 5 months I've ever had. And I'm enjoying it too much to want to properly settle down right now. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice finding the love of my life. But right now I'm having fun. And I guess when I was younger, I don't think I ever expected to be that person with a baby in their 20s. Do you know what I mean? Like at 25, like I never expected to do that. But then I've been very career driven, career focused, and I mean a lot of my friends as well, a lot of like my local friends, they didn't go to uni, so they went straight into, work at 16 or 18. So like I already feel slightly behind them in life anyway, just because I chose to do education. So I don't know, people are just in different stages, aren't they? I don't know if I'm necessarily like behind.
It sums it up so perfectly, so I feel like we're in such, like, a similar boat in, like, the way that we sort of, like, are approaching our lives in that, like, we've gone through quite similar stages, we're the same age, like, we've got very similar opinions on things. I just think it's really interesting to hear someone else say exactly the same things that I've been thinking. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what? You gravitate to people who like that's why we're
Yeah.
friends. Do you know what I mean? Like we've gravitated to each other because we've gone through the same things and we're experiencing the same like path. And like I can't relate to the people like my friends. I love them dearly who have children and stuff, but I can't relate to that in this stage in life. I'm just talking about my Hinge dates. Like I was with to be fair, my friend yesterday, we went through my Hinge and she was liking a load of people. She was like, "This is so fun." Sat there with her baby.
Oh,
I
literally,
know.
all of my friends in relationships are like, "Can you get Hinge just so I can
Yeah.
play on it?"
I was like
I'm like,
I
"Why
was
is
like
it a game?"
she was like, "I'm so bored of TV, like, I've watched so many series." I was like, "Just log into my Hinge if you want."
Do you think you'll find the love of your life on a dating app?
Dunno, it's hard to say, isn't it? Until it happens. I like the idea that I can meet them in real life and find that person.
Yeah.
But if I meet them on a dating app, I do.
Oh, that's actually a really wholesome answer. I would have just been like, "No."
No, I will never meet anyone on a dating app. No, I don't believe you can't.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can't. I just don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of meeting someone in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but never say never. Who knows? Hinge might pull through.
Well, thank you for taking some time to have a little chat with me and listen to
No problem.
my quarter life crisis. It's been great hearing about your quarter life crisis.
Going through a major quarter life crisis.
Just non-stop. It's one never-ending thing.
I love my quarter life crisis. So fun.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. See you soon.
Bye. Thank you, Anna. Maybe I do need to give dating apps a second chance. There's still a chance I may meet the love of my life, and if not, I might at least get a holiday to Rome out of it. There is, of course, the argument that getting my heart broken by people in your social circle is a lot less messy and more problematic than getting your heart broken by strangers. Either way, I'm heartbroken and have to cry to my friends. At least if it's a stranger, my friends don't have to hear about their other mate being a knob. I think the main issue in both instances, men having the audacity. Finding the love of my life is a problem for the distant future. I have other things to sort out before I start actively seeking them out on dating apps, as you guys know. But who knows? Maybe they will stumble into my life without the interference of algorithms. Thank you for listening to this episode of Quarter Life Crisis. Why do I get the ick from dating apps? I want to thank you all for listening to the podcast so far. I found it very helpful to hear from others who are going through their own quarter life crises. So I hope as the listener you've found it helpful and enjoyable to listen to. I think these episodes have held me to account and made me start taking action. In other aspects, it's also made me reflect and think about starting to plan for the future. Strangely, before creating this series, I'd never really given much thought to the idea of social media having such a great impact with regards to my quarter age dread. But finding it come up again and again throughout the series has really made me start to question my relationship with it. I think that my generation, Gen Z, has a struggle that most people haven't been exposed to before with social media. Most people in Gen Z have spent their adolescence exposed to social media daily, so unaware of the facts, constantly looking at people who are only really showing the highlight reels of their lives can have, especially when it is hundreds, if not thousands of people's highlight reels daily. It can really start you questioning whether you are good enough or if you are doing enough. Maybe social media is causing the quarter life crisis. I want to thank Diggory, who's been my mentor throughout the process from start to finish. I also want to thank my fabulous friends who have come on to talk to me about their crises. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. Stay tuned for future updates because who knows what the future will hold.